AU. But yeah, Drew Bosley is sort of trying to figure out what's his distance. You know, we saw him run so many distances in college, but now moving his way up to the long one on the track, running 10,000 meters. So just it's fun to see now everybody indoors running this race and maybe again trying to figure out where they belong.
Another look at the field on the inside with Hamilton, Fleming, Stokes, Mr. Updike, Mori of Japan, Iverson, Bufrizzi of France, and our pace setter, Shane Strike.
Updike, all smiles, having fun on the start line. I love it.
"15 laps of the track of the 200-meter oval of the JDL Fast Track at the Camel City Men's 3,000 meters. Shane Strike on the inside will try to lead this group at the conclusion of the first lap, as the pace lights will also help these gentlemen along. 7:40 is the prescribed pace. The facility record about to be destroyed, as it was on the women's side just a moment ago. Paul Chalimo holds it. Again, this was a flat 200 back in the day, I guess we could say. It was even only last year. And this new facility already proving to be much, much faster. So Chalimo's record will disappear once and most likely twice, as we still have the top-seeded section to come later in the program. Strike's first 200 meters in 30:54. Bufrizzi, the Frenchman, sits right behind him in second, followed by Iverson.
Well, this is one of those races where it sort of hurts from the get-go. You can't really think about just running like a 5,000 meters where you can settle in just a little bit. The 3K is an extended 1,500-meter mile for me. I always thought it was so much fun, but it hurt early on, especially when you're going hard like these guys. Again, we have single file. There's not a big bunch up yet. And a lot of times when we see our pacers out front in the lights, we get that early on. People are chasing those times. We'll have to see what happens when Shane steps off, if it does pack up just a little bit. But as we're watching here, we're seeing Acer Iverson, one of my camp counselors at the Carrie Tolson Training Camp. He's from Minnesota. Just has been such an awesome runner throughout the years with Stanford, and been fun to watch as he's in his post-collegiate days.
That is the most obscure and deep statistical reference I think I've heard in this show, Carrie Tollefson, but
and let me make sure. Did I say Harvard? Did I say Harvard? I said Stanford. I meant Harvard. Sorry, Acer. But, yeah, I can give you some background on these peeps.
And he did end up, I think, 1 year at Washington with Andy Powell.
Yep, we sure did.
Also have, you know, when we look at collegiate affiliations now, we may have to list 5 of them based on how much these guys are moving from program to program here. We're through 1,200 meters. Or check that, 800 meters. No, 1,000 meters. We had our live stats kind of have a hiccup there, and 2:33.58 for Strike, 30:81 on that last lap, with Iverson second, Hamilton third, Updike is in fourth, and Quacks right behind him in fifth. 3:04.40 at 1,200 meters.
And they're wanting to go through 4:06.
And no change the order on this last lap around the track. Hamza Shahid in sixth overall, but single file, another lap of 30.8 and 1,400 meters in 3:35.27. So when they get to the end of the backstretch, they'll be halfway home at 3,000 meters. Strike moving outside. He's going to go halfway and step aside. 3:50, let's call it, at the halfway mark.
Duncan Hamilton, I like how he looks right now. He's nice and tucked in on the rail there, but he looks smooth. Updike looks really good as well.
So right at 7:40 pace. Let's see what the laps do in this scenario where they are absent the pacer on the track, but with the pacing lights adjacent to the track. And Iverson continuing to drive this one from the front and has a little bit of gap now with Hamilton, Updike, and Quacks, along with Drew Bosley. 31:02, so kept the pacing constant here, which is good, and that is serviced by those lights that don't allow you to not realize that the pace might be getting away from you. So Iverson doing a good job staying with those lights now at the very tail end of them, though. And maybe a couple of more meters that he's put on Duncan Hamilton, but it's a very talented group chasing him at this point as he gets to 2,000 meters in 5:09:08, 31:56, a half second slower, and that group, I think, starting to slowly but surely read him in. Shahid.
Where you can see Acer Iverson looking a little bit back behind him. He's only a 7:47 guy, and he's really going for it right now. He's run 7:41 actually indoors, so he's right on where he's been before, but now you can see lots of movement, and here comes Drew Bosley.
Yeah, Bosley asserts himself now with 4 laps to go as he moves up into third behind Shahid. And Iverson, for the moment, still holding on to the lead. Got to like Isaac Updike, too, that upright running style. He always looks very confident and comfortable, even though he's allowing the collegian to go by, Orlean Raja. As they now have 3 laps to go, and Bosley now on the backside shoulder. A couple of missteps, a little bit of jostling as everyone's looking for position. And Bosley now making his move on the outside. Raja following him, and he slips into second.
Well, Bosley at one time held the 3,000-meter record for the NCAA. He knows this race.
2 laps to go for Bosley, Raja, and Shahid. Iverson doing everything he can to try to stay with it, but he looks a little gassed now as he's letting those 3 get away from him with a lap and a half to go. As Bosley looks over his inside shoulder, sees Shahid maybe getting away from Raja now. At the bell, it's Bosley and Shahid. As they're in full flight down the backstretch for the final time. Drew Bosley trying to hold on for the win in the Camel City 3000. Shahid not letting him go yet. Shahid makes the move to the outside. Look at that turnover as he gets to the line and will take the victory as he breaks the facility record in the process, as both he and Bosley get under the previous mark held by Paul Chalimo. 7:43:01 for Hamza Shahid, 28:30 on the final lap.
He didn't want to stop. He's kept on running, and he was pumped. But wow, he's already had such a phenomenal indoor season, setting PB after PB, and today coming in and getting this win. He's got to be pleased with the effort.